Hey everybody, I get this question every once in a while, and just so happen to be talking with one of our consulting clients recently, and the topic came up of whether or not you should be using the word unlimited or having some kind of an unlimited offering on your programs. And the answer to that question is almost always no, that you shouldn't be offering that. And I wanted to take just a moment and explain why, because I know it's a pretty popular thing for a lot of studios to do, especially studios that are in the adult fitness market. Now, I want to clarify, it is not always the wrong thing to do, but there are some benefits that your studio will gain by not having an unlimited offering that I think are valuable enough that you should consider some of the things that I'm going to explain in just a second here. So, first of all, I think the biggest issue is that you need to keep in mind that most of the students that you're going to be attracting to your studio, no matter what you teach, almost always they're going to be at the sort of fundamentals level of whatever your offering is. They're going to be more beginner students than there are more advanced people. It's not always the case. Of course, you're going to attract some advanced people, but it's just simply easier to find people in your community that don't have a lot of experience with what you teach rather than the opposite. Okay. So most of the students that are coming in are going to be at the fundamentals level. And in general, those people don't see as much of the value in something being unlimited as you might. Now, I understand that you have a program that you love and you wish you could do this art every day, which is probably why you opened a studio teaching whatever it is that you teach, is because you see the value in that. But most of these beginner students do not. And you put yourself in sort of the place of the parent who's shuttling their kids around to their activities. And do I, as the parent, before I've sort of drunk the Kool-Aid about your program, before I really see all of the value in your program, is this the kind of thing that I want to be driving my kid to every single day of the week? Probably not. And so the idea that an unlimited program is beneficial to me is kind of lost on me, right? Like it looks like a liability to me, not I don't put it in the asset column as a beginner student or as the parent of a beginner student that's coming in. So a lot of the value that you might see in something being unlimited is lost on the client. That's one of the problems. The other problem is that it does what we call diluting the value of your program, of your offering. People start doing the math, and if you say, hey, one class per week is this, and two classes per week is this, and unlimited is this, people start doing the math and they start saying, okay, well, if I can if I can squeeze in 8 classes a week, that means I'm paying this much per class, and they start doing that per class math and start making a judgment on what your program is worth. And they do that at the unlimited level, like if you're making that offer to them. And so to them now, all of a sudden, what the worth of a class has gone down. Does that make sense? Like that's an important piece to understand, because the mistake that a lot of studios are making themselves is exactly that. They see themselves as selling classes, and it's hard for us to get this message home to a lot of studios that you do not sell classes, you sell transformation. You have this magic black box that you put human beings into, and they come out of that black box somehow as better human beings, somehow as having more quality of life or whatever. And that transformation is what you sell. And if you do that in 1 class per week or 2 classes per week or 8 classes per week, the value is not in the time that the class takes. The value is in the transformation that people are getting. If you're in the adult fitness market and you're going to help this new bride to be get in the best shape of her life for her wedding that's coming up in the summertime, or if you're helping grandma to see her first grandchild on stage in a tutu, right? There are transformational things that you are selling that have value, and we need to disassociate that value from the length of time that the person is actually staying in the studio. And if you're making an unlimited offering, a lot of times people are doing that math themselves, and it's working against what you're actually trying to accomplish. Okay. And there's lots of reasons, but one more just kind of final third reason that we think it's a good idea to avoid selling unlimited classes is that what if you get good at it? What if you get good at it? Most studios are discounting severely the cost per class, in other words, if you sign up for some kind of an unlimited program. And what if you get good at that? What if you fill your studio with the people who are paying the least for what it is that you're offering? That has a pretty big impact on the potential profitability of the studio itself. At our studio, we don't call anything unlimited. We have a series of progressive levels in all of our programs that students move through. And we have a traditional dance, ballet, tap, jazz, a couple of studios that do that. We have aerial silks programs and acro, and we also have Brazilian martial arts. So I own a number of different programs, but all of them have these progressive levels. And that's part of what we help our clients sort of figure out. and design the most efficient way of doing that for themselves. But at the higher levels, more options of classes become available to the students, right? That makes sense. So the students can choose if they'd like to come to, at a level 5, if they want to come to all of the classes that are offered in that. We will recommend specifically what they should do, but we don't call that unlimited. We make that prescription to them and tell them what we believe they should do to get the best out of this program. And then if they want to show up to 3 of the 5 classes instead of all 5, it doesn't matter. They pay the same amount because they're purchasing that program. They're not purchasing individual classes. Okay. Now, I hope that makes sense. I know this is kind of a little bit of a higher level idea in how you're actually running your systems, but it does have a huge impact on the attractiveness of your offer, especially to beginner students, the amount of profit that you can make in your studio, and believe it or not, also the retention rate on the students themselves. So there are some specific circumstances where we do believe it is a good idea to have an unlimited offer, but most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, the scenarios as we're kind of looking at the numbers with studios, having an unlimited offer is less helpful than most studio owners believe that it is. Okay, hope that was insightful, hope it was helpful, and we'll talk to you soon.